Hey everybody, welcome to Sam's Doing Stuff. What am I doing today? It's IBC Tote Day. So Sam, how many IBC totes can you fit on your new trailer? The answer? 20, with 1 inch to spare. Well, maybe not quite an inch. Yeah, this is really tight. Oh, you can do the math. 20 feet long, 48 inch long IBC totes divided, you know, stack them 2 high, 2 rows, 20 IBC totes. The place I was getting them from before hasn't gotten back to me. I don't know if they're still selling them. I was getting them at $25 a piece. I found these at $25 a piece, but I had to drive an hour and a half to get them. With tolls and fuel, I was really spending about 30 bucks a piece, but I think it was still worth it. They are in really good shape. That's a beautiful thing. You know what that is? That is guaranteed inventory for next year. Yeah, I was short on baskets for sure, because my entire MO has to do with these baskets. So I've got 24 sitting here now because I had 4 that were empty already, plus the 20. So that's a pretty good start for next year. Now I know what you're thinking, yeah, another video on how to cut these baskets. Well, I had this idea that popped into my head. You know, you've seen a lot of people cut them like this, the U shape out of the front where you reach in the bottom side gives you a little more stability, keeps stuff from falling out. I like them cut like this for the stuff that I deliver to my parents because I just dump it in, you know, so that holds it pretty well. But for my customers, I like to cut out the whole front. I think it makes it more accessible and easier to get to. I also stack 2 rows of 16-inch pieces. I've gone over this before. This comes out to about 34 to 36 cubic feet, a little bit over 1/4 cord. So it doesn't maximize the amount of space you can use in this basket. Why is that? Because there's this whole lip here on the front. Now they're not all exactly the same. I don't cut it with a processor. You know, I might be off 1 inch or 2. So, you know, that gives me a little wiggle room when I stack these that I know they're not going to be sticking out of the front. But there's another way that you can get even more firewood in one of these 275-gallon totes. And here it is. What if we all started cutting the short end off of our IBC totes? Yeah, this is the 40-inch span instead of the 48-inch. So there's a few advantages here, a few really big advantages. Number one, you know, I always leave that bar across the top, and it can be a little bit annoying to have that in your way. Well, if you do it this way, these all come with these support braces that hold the bladders in. You can put these back on, and you can put them anywhere you want. If you don't want it this far forward, you can put it in the middle. It'll still add the stability that you want, but you can adjust it wherever so that it doesn't get in the way when you're getting in and getting your wood out. Secondly, how much wood can you put in this now? You all know what I put in that, and some people do put their stacks, you know, separate. They'll stack one in the back. We'd be doing it this way. You'd stack one in the back and one in the middle, and you'd fill in the middle with some little stuff, okay? And you could do that, that's fine. But this way, you have, from the back bar to the front, 46 inches to the very front of this. Yeah, everybody thinks these things are 40 by 48 by 46 inch tall. No, they are inside dimensions, 45 inches by 37.5, 38 inches by 40 inches tall. That's the 275-gallon IBC totes, by the way. So if you stack your firewood in it this way and you go long ways, 16-inch pieces from the back to the front, you've got 46 inches, you know, you'll stick over just a hair on the front, but you can stack 3 rows deep and then do your 37 inches wide by 40 inches tall. Let's figure that out. So with those dimensions going 48 inches deep, 37 maybe 38 inches wide and 40 inches high, you're coming just over 41 cubic feet, and 42 cubic feet is 1/3 of a cord. That's how you fit 1/3 of a cord in a 275-gallon IBC tote. Now, not only does it make it completely accessible and you can fit more wood in the tote, you can dump it. That's the reason also that I cut the entire front out of my baskets. If I wanted to dump this with a machine, I could lift the whole thing and there's nothing obstructing it. It all comes right out easy peasy. So if you need to dump your IBC totes, this is another fantastic idea. Now we come to my final idea, okay? This right here. When you cut your IBC totes, everybody tries to grind these down, tries to smooth them out as best as they can, but it can be dangerous. You can still cut yourself on that no matter how much you file it down, and especially if you're delivering these to customers like I am, you may need to do something. So, you know, there's wrapping tape around them, and if you saw in those other totes, I put pipe insulation around the edges. That really, really works well, but I have one more idea I want to try. Not a sponsored video, but I think everybody has heard of Plasti Dip. I didn't know that it comes in an aerosol can, but apparently it does. And as I was lying awake at night thinking about this problem, I do that, yes, I thought there's got to be something that I can spray on this, some kind of a rubber coating type thing, maybe a bed liner or something, that will work better than tape or that insulation that I use. Let's try it. Of course, please follow the instructions on the can. Use this in a well-ventilated area. I'm outside. Also says to allow 4 hours in between coats to let it dry completely. I can tell you that with just one spritz, a heavy spritz of this stuff over those jagged edges, it's already going to be safer. Yeah, I can tell already. Absolutely. It's thick and it's going to be way better than a pointy metal sharp object. All right, I got my last delivery of the season loaded up for tomorrow. I keep saying that. I keep saying it's going to be my last delivery. I found 2 baskets of oak that were decent enough. I mean, they were definitely under 20%. You know, they will burn, and I got people that want them. So, if they want them, and I got them, I'm going to sell them. But this has got to be the last delivery. I really don't have anything else that's dry right now. So I figured, let's go ahead and get this log deck loaded up. And then tomorrow, after I finish my deliveries, I can finally cut up these new logs. Yes, these are the fresh logs. These are the ones that came from the tree service, and they are beautiful. They are not too huge. They are good to go. That there is a beautiful thing, isn't it? Yeah, you know what I'm gonna be doing first thing in the morning? Well, once I get back from my deliveries. Three coats. I put 3 coats on so far, and it's better, you know, look at that, I'm not really afraid to, I think it's safe now. But I think you could get the same effect with just spray paint. You know, latex spray paint, still rubber. I don't know. I mean, it's easier than anything else, but I'd give that experiment a, I tried the Dremel tool for a while, for a good while. I've been using it to touch up my chains, and I've come to the conclusion it's not anywhere near as good as hand filing. Yeah, I went back to hand filing for sure. Takes a little bit longer, sure it does, but let me tell you, the difference on those teeth, I can feel it right here, and I'm sure it's gonna show when I cut those logs. Let's get to cutting. Everything I just cut, 100% red oak. I have a mess of rounds in there. Gonna fill the trailer with red oak. It's coming next. But I'll tell you two things. Number one, something in my eye. Glasses, and I still got something in my eye. Anyway, hand sharpening. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of it. I used to hand sharpen all the time. Then I tried the Dremel thing because it was easier, but no way does it do as good of a job. It's better to take the time and really make those teeth perfect, because wow, did that cut nicely. These two logs are maple, so I'm going to leave these here, process all of the oak all together, all in one trailer load. I don't have to worry about sorting it, and I can stack it, and it'll be separate, and then I'll come back to this. But isn't it nice that these are small logs? Yeah. Especially with the axis, these are small. Just, you know, anything 2 feet or less, no problem at all. So crappy weather was really king this week. Yeah, kind of kept me from getting down here and getting stuff done, but I got stuff done. And major win, getting all of those IBC totes, because that, well, it's gonna slow things down, that's for sure. And speaking of being slowed down, I didn't get nearly enough out of that as I thought I would right now. I'm still splitting up the old garbage. I got it all cut up. I had some rounds of red oak, and I'm getting a little bit out of it, but most of it is going out in the scrap yard. Yeah, and I think that's what that's gonna be out there. It's gonna be a scrap yard. Now that I have more IBC totes, I'm not gonna put a bulk pile. Things are changing every freaking day. As long as I have totes to stack in, they're gonna get stacked, of course. But I guess the best part of it all is I've got 2 more pallets of crappy stuff up there. It's all staged, ready to go, just knock it out. And then the beautiful new stuff. That's right, ready for it. This is red oak. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. That doesn't smell like red oak. You guys know what red oak smells like. That does not smell like red oak. My goodness, I don't know. I don't know what that is, doggone it. Here, let me show you guys. Maybe somebody can tell me. You guys see the bark? I don't have any leaves to show you, but there's the bark on all of this. And then there's what it looks like in the center. Red oak, I would think, would be a little more dark. I don't know, I'll really know when I start splitting it, but yeah, it doesn't have that poop smell, you know? So, and I know what poop smells. That's the last video. Oh yeah, wasn't that fun? Oh my goodness. You know what? I have to know. I just absolutely have to know. So let's just put 1 round of this up here, get this fired up, crack it open and see if it's red oak or something else. I still can't tell. It does not smell like that. You know what I'm talking about, red oak, it's repulsive. Guys, if you could help me, that'd be great. Oh, there you go. There's what it looks like on the inside. Okay, and that's the bark. Yeah, leave in the comments. That's what it looks like on the inside. And I can't tell. I want to say red oak, but it would smell, I mean, red oak always has that pungent smell, you know? Now, as far as the IBC totes, everybody cuts those things the way they want to cut them. I'm still going to cut them the way I've been cutting them with the front. I'll put a 1/4 cord in. It's easier for me to manage, and I like to sell it that way. I make more money per stick that way. Anyway, but I don't know. I may be being redundant. I've never seen anybody cut an IBC tote the way that I cut that with the short side so you can stack. Whatever. Just throwing ideas out there because, you know, you're always thinking. So if you like what you saw today, you know how to do it. Hit the buttons and subscribe so I can see you next time when I'm doing more stuff.